Hello and welcome to the initial video of my proposal for a virtualized academic dissemination strategy. Today we will talk about the relevance of educational videos, the different existing types, how to share them, and the necessary requirements for this project. I must begin by admitting that I am an arduous advocate of e-learning. Virtual education is my area of expertise within the academic world. I did my MBA remotely and it was a great experience. I have a diploma in classroom management through technology. I teach online at undergraduate and postgraduate levels. I also share academic content on multiple platforms, with very good results. I will talk a little about that by the end of this video. As always, the structure of this session can be found in the video description, within an index that details my proposal for a virtualized academic dissemination strategy. Purpose and benefits. Why should we implement this strategy? The truth is that online education is the current reality. It is not the future. It's something that has been going on for many years now. Actually, it is quite likely that your university already has some kind of this strategy ongoing. If that's the case, we can improve it. Or, if you are new to this field, let's not waste another second. The content to be generated through the proposed strategy can serve as didactic material to be used along our classes, both at undergraduate and postgraduate levels. Or even if we want to implement fashionable strategies such as flipped classroom. But we should not stay in traditional classroom learning. We can also generate content that serves as support material for those students who need a previous review of a certain subject in order to catch up. Or perhaps the student may like to learn a little more, in which case the material generated will serve to deepen the content. This enriches our learning management system, and we even could give continuous access to our alumni network. In addition, of course, the virtual educational content will contribute to future research as bibliographic resources. But not only that, by generating multimedia content, we are creating material for eventual MOOCs, these massive open online courses. Additionally, part of the content may be used for advertising purposes, promoting our university, publicizing the things that we do in support of the recruitment strategy that we mentioned in a previous video, since there will be evidence of our academic achievements. Similarly, we can generate and disseminate content that comes from our interinstitutional agreements, also supporting our communication strategy. But the benefits do not end here, because the academic multimedia content that we have generated counts towards our accreditations and certifications. Because behind every educational video, there is research work. In addition, we can easily measure the number of views, the reach of our publications, and how many times we have been referenced. Besides, the dissemination of this material provides support for the academic community, engaging us with our immediate society and even globally. In this sense, new opportunities are offered for future research, since others will be articulated with the teaching staff and students of our university. This year will drive the development of scientific societies, as well as motivate research within our classrooms. And even if the research is carried out properly and we systematize the scripts of our videos, we can give way to the writing of articles with greater ease. Or we could generate podcasts from the audio of our videos. Now, beyond the mentioned benefits, we may have a virtual education skeptic among our public. So let me add that virtual education has considerably more reach than face-to-face traditional education. We can reach students from all over the world at lower costs, both for the student and for the university. Virtual education, when well designed, is more efficient. Students perform 2 standard deviations better than in traditional models. This is pointed out by Daphne Kohler in a conference that at the time of the recording of this video has reached almost 3 million people. For those who do not know her, she is a Stanford professor and co-founder of the Coursera platform. And in fact, part of my proposal is to publish content on sites such as Coursera, EDX, Myriadax, among others. Why do students who learn under these virtual models perform better? To begin with, one of the great benefits is that you learn at your own pace. We can set deadlines, okay, but there is more flexibility. In addition, the content is partially personalized thanks to big data, which allow us to easily identify the efficiency of our teaching strategies and evaluation mechanisms, considering, for example, the attention time of our students or those topics that are most difficult for them. This allows us to make adjustments more precisely. In addition, subjectivities are eliminated. The instructions and parameters are clear, even for qualitative work. It has been shown that there is virtually a direct, significant correlation between peer evaluation and evaluation by a teacher. And within virtuality, questions are answered in less time, 22 minutes on average, compared to the hours, even days, that traditional consultation mechanisms may take. Here I must make 2 clarifications. First, my proposal is not simply about migrating to a virtual education model. Content production is important, but we also must think about its dissemination, how to share our educational videos, which is why I suggest a comprehensive strategy that considers both processes. Second, virtual education is not about video conferencing and assigning homework on a platform. It is not. That's a wrong and oversimplistic model. Although I understand that many universities have worked that way during the pandemic. With more time or in a meeting, if you are interested, I can detail how online education works, and virtual education, and virtualized education, which are not the same. For now, as an advance in this introduction to the proposed strategy, it is worth mentioning once again that we should generate preliminary content for those students who need it, as well as additional content for those students who wish to deepen. In addition, of course, to provide reinforcement content for students who have difficulties during the regular path. However, all educational content must be available in different formats, text, audio, and videos simultaneously, because not all students learn in the same way. Some may prefer to watch an interview with an expert, while others learn better by debating with their peers. Maybe somebody wants to read an article or listening to a podcast. I am sharing this from my own experience. I saw it firsthand on my online master's degree. And recently I took a virtual course with Harvard, in which I delved into the functioning of distributed education, both individual and collective. Evidence of the relevance of this type of education is the evolution of platforms such as Khan Academy, Udemy, Teachable, Skillshare, among others. Content types. Beyond the purpose that generated material serves, I personally classify the content in the following groups. To begin with, we can disseminate complete classes. It is a valid alternative, and there are many universities that start this way because of the ease of creating this type of content. However, in my strategy, I propose to disseminate fragmented content by the nature to which online learning responds, to maximize the engagement of our audience. In this sense, we can share certain parts of our classes, emphasizing strategic topics. In the same way, we can be punctual with certain key moments of our webinars, talks, seminars, conferences, roundtables, debates, and gatherings. Worth to mention, these are not the same. And precisely for this very reason, a variety of content can be generated for our social media or our learning management system. Besides, these fragments can drag attention so that our public or students may sign up and participate in future events, or at least they will watch the complete videos. In this regard, another important category is the same activities carried out by our university. We're talking about workshops, fairs, trips, internships, and professional practices. This can be documented as interviews or testimonials to spread the experience of our students. On the other hand, and I consider that this is the strong part of the strategy, we can design educational capsules and research capsules. The former responds to micro-learning trends, optimizing the teaching-learning process at the very forefront with e-learning models. When it comes to research capsules, I highly recommend that we publish video essays. Let's face it, the data shows that traditional papers, articles, and essays are losing popularity. Today, there are better alternatives. We can take our written academic content to multimedia formats. We still have time. Independent scientific disseminator channels predominate on platforms such as YouTube, but eventually universities will start to gain ground due to the availability of resources. And once they do, it will be difficult to position ourselves. Not impossible, but it will be more complicated. In addition to video essays, we can publish capsules with research proposals, such as a thesis profile, providing a preview of various topics that we will develop in future videos. Following this line, we can publish our advances and preliminary results, experiments, application of methods, instruments, and tools. Indeed, we will also publish the final results. But all the previous material will help to motivate the interest of the public, in addition to being a tacit invitation for other researchers to replicate our work or generate a subsequent response. Two additional ideas in the research field. We can publish documentaries and reports if you prefer to start with traditional alternatives. Stages. In general, we have 7 phases or stages from the development to the publication of our multimedia academic content. In the first instance, we must research, whether we are talking about the preparation of a class to be recorded or whether we are trying to analyze a case for a video essay. From the gathered information, we must systematize our narrative into a script, defining what will be said, in what way, what visual resources will be used, and what our photographic composition will be. Once everything is in order, we can schedule the filming, and once we have recorded, we can proceed with the editing and the post-production, considering the multimedia resources mentioned in the script. Finally, it will be necessary to design material thinking on the promotion of our content, and then we will schedule its respective publication and diffusion on the corresponding social media or platforms. Naturally, all of this process implies coordinating with our students, teaching staff, scientific societies, or any other key actor, internal or external to our university. Also, of course, it will be necessary to be in line with social media optimization trends. Media. Where to publish our content? The university's website is not enough. If we remember the funnel mentioned in our recruitment strategy, our central means to disseminate academic content are YouTube and Facebook. In the case of YouTube, I suggest having a centralized channel for the university, which has different playlists by career or subject. Regarding Facebook, the pages corresponding to each faculty, as well as the central page of the university, should be used according to the relevance of the content. Each page will organize its content through series and playlists. In addition, we must ensure to enable cross-posting of content between pages and connect our Instagram accounts. For articles and all text publications, I suggest using the ResearchGate and academia portals, as well as any index journal that is relevant to the case. Finally, podcasts can be published on Spotify and shared on our social media. Of course, the media to be used will change over time, depending on which social media or targeted audience uses. Expected production and requirements. Based on experience, in a prudent way, and without compromising the quality of the material, I can say that a single person at full capacity can produce monthly 4 short videos, 5 to 15 minutes each, plus 8 videos of classes, conferences or seminars with a length of an academic period, 4 podcast episodes of 20 to 30 minutes, and a long video of 30 to 40 minutes. All of this in high definition with a good production standard. The content of these videos will vary. 2 short videos can be assigned to educational capsules and another 2 to research capsules. 2 academic periods of classes can be combined to form a longer video, or for example, the long video that I mentioned may be assigned to a documentary or to a video essay with longer length than usual. Each can be replaced by other. Fewer seminars will lead to more educational capsules, or we can give more attention to our podcasts, depending on the needs and interests of the university. But in general, we're talking about 3 weekly publications, a reasonable number to achieve a good reach and interaction in our social media. However, I reiterate this considering the workload of one person who knows about research, academic and multimedia writing, filming, editing, post-production, and digital marketing. If we provide a team to this person, the quantity and quality of the material produced can increase. Let's call him the e-learning coordinator, who may work alongside a digital media manager, an audiovisual editor, and a graphic designer. In addition, internships can be arranged for students who wish to collaborate to this project, beyond those teachers or students who will do the research, write the scripts, and appear on camera. Regarding the material and technical requirements, I suggest having the following components as a minimum: an optimal computer for graphic design and video editing for each team member, with at least 1 terabyte of disk memory. Licenses for software related to graphic design. We're talking about Adobe Photoshop, InDesign, and Illustrator. A Google Workspace account and a license for Adobe Acrobat Pro. This is recommended for the scripts. Licenses for software related to video editing. I suggest Filmora X and Adobe After Effects. An action camera that records in 4K at 30 FPS, such as GoPro or Akaso, with at least 64 GB of SD memory. a lavalier microphone with 120 to 150 centimeters of cable, a 120 centimeters tripod for the camera, and one 30 centimeters LED ring light with its respective tripod. Some additional components suggested but not limiting for the initial implementation of the virtualized academic dissemination strategy are the following: a professional camera with multiple lenses and an external microphone, a compact audio recorder with a jack port, 2 additional lavalier microphones, extra memories 64 or 128 GB micro SD, extra batteries for the cameras, this is too important, a set of lights with 3 reflectors on its respective tripods, a bouncer and a diffuser, green screen, possibly with white and black screen as well, a license for Adobe Premiere Pro or Final Cut, and licenses for multimedia stock resources, such as Storyblocks, Shutterstock, Getty, Epidemic Sound, Jamendo, Premium Beat, and Artlist. I know it seems like a lot, and for some universities obtaining the budget it's quite bureaucratic. It's a whole process. But do not worry, I have what it takes to get started. A camera, a microphone, a tripod, I have lights, I have editing software, among other things, but mainly the experience and passion for the project, because I believe in virtual education. As this is the last video of my initial proposal, I allow myself to break the format out of the formality and comment that I have good results in the field of virtual education. In each teaching evaluation that I've had with different universities, I found myself in the highest decile every single time. I have 4.5 stars on platforms as Udemy. 40% of my audience on YouTube are university students, 30% are grad students, and 20% are working and need to update. I have students from Mexico, Colombia, Peru, Argentina, Bolivia, Chile, Ecuador, Guatemala, Spain, Panama, and the United States, among several other countries. And I get very good comments. I want this project to grow. I want to continue helping. And I believe that this can be worked with a university, within an academic level, not only as edutubers or scientific disseminators on YouTube. I am fully available and willing to relocate at my own cost. But let's make this idea a reality. I know for sure that the universities that lead in virtual education today will be among the very best in international rankings tomorrow. If the proposal here mentioned is of interest to you, do not hesitate to reach me. You have my contact information of the description of the video, as well as the rest of the proposal, both in English and Spanish, on YouTube videos and in PDF. I remain attentive to any questions. Remember that we can organize a meeting by video conference if you wish to, and I hope we will work together in the near future.